This is the We Get Outdoors podcast. My name is Rob Yates, I am your host, and welcome to this epic episode. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how in coronavirus self-isolation times, how you can get outside and benefit from the outdoors without putting yourself or other people at risk. For those who don't know me, I've spent the past 30 years of my life working as a professional in the outdoors, whether it's guiding trips and expeditions, training over 4,000 coaches on 3 continents, or personally going on trips and expeditions myself. I've been there, seen it, done it, and worn the t-shirt. In these weekly episodes, I'm bringing to you a thought for the week about how you can engage in the outdoors, have better adventures, more fun, meet more people, or basically just enjoy the outdoors much more. And so in this episode, what I want to talk to you about is the hot topic. Now, the hot topic is, of course, coronavirus, COVID-19. But really what I want to focus on is how can you make the most of the outdoors, even though we're in a time where we're locked down, we are in isolation, maybe we're in quarantine. How can you do it? And that's the theme of today's episode. So over these episodes, you're going to find me in different locations. Today, because of COVID-19, you find me in my garden. And I guess for the next few weeks, you may well find me in my garden as well. But going forwards into the future, I'm going to take you to the African bush. We're going to go to the mountains. We're going to go to rivers. We're going to go to campsites. We're going to go on trips. We're going to do all sorts of things together as I share with you my thoughts about the outdoors and how you can get involved with it to a higher level, have more fun, stay safer, meet more people, anything else that you particularly desire. So let's talk about getting outdoors responsibly while in self-isolation or lockdown or whatever it's called in your country. Now, getting outdoors for sick people has been proven over the years to be critically important. In fact, if you look back through the history of time, you find that patients who've got sick with things, who've been exposed to more sunlight and more outdoors time, traditionally have got better much quicker. In fact, in the Spanish flu of 1918 to 1920, what happened was that most of the people who contracted Spanish flu were soldiers and sailors coming back in very tight troop-carrying ships and things like that from the First World War back to the UK. Although it was experienced all over Europe, of course. And when they got back to the UK healthcare system was completely and utterly overwhelmed. And so they ended up setting up field hospitals where when the weather was okay, the soldiers and sailors spent their days outside in the sunshine. And interestingly, those that got treated in a field hospital who spent huge amounts more time outside as they were treated and getting better, actually more of those people got better than those people who were treated in traditional hospitals. Now, there's all sorts of reasons why we can talk about this. You know, the sense of freedom, being able to see the sky, but in particular, the positive impact that vitamin D from the sun has on our body, and also the higher quality of air that you breathe when you're outside. The more oxygen you can get into your body, the better your body will be at fighting illness, and so life will be good. So before we go any further, I just want to say, with everything that I'm talking about, I want you to be responsible and think much about, this isn't necessarily about you getting COVID-19, this is about you spreading it to other people. But also I want you to be legally responsible as well. So I don't particularly want you amazing, wonderful people getting arrested because you've broken the laws of your lockdown or your quarantine or your isolation in your country. So before you do anything that I suggest in this video, I would like you to go and check out the laws, find out what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. A great example would be from where I am at this point in time in South Africa in lockdown. Other than driving to the shops to buy some food or going to the hospital, we're not allowed to leave the boundary fence of our property during this lockdown period. Whereas We Get Outdoors members who are in the UK, I know, are allowed out for a walk a day for an hour or so. In fact, I just spoke to one of our We Get Outdoors members, David Poole, who's in Cognac in France, and he was out and he gets a pass to go for a walk in the countryside in and around Cognac for 1 hour a day. So work within the law of your land. So firstly, getting outdoors. Well, how about your garden like I'm using my garden now? How about getting out and doing some gardening? Catching up on yard work that you haven't done for, that to-do list of someday, one day, maybe. How about just going and spending some time reading in your garden or walking in circles around your garden, listening to the podcast going around your garden, or maybe even set up an outdoor office for yourself where you can go and sit outdoors in your garden and get on with the work that I'm going to guess you probably need to be doing for your employer. And what if you don't have a garden? Well, if you don't have a garden and the weather's all right, open all of your windows and doors. Even if it's freezing cold, open all of the windows and doors and let that fresh air blow through your house for as long as you can bear it for, and then obviously close it all back up again. If you live in an apartment or a flat, get out on the balcony. Go and sit there and turn the balcony into the outdoor office and watch the world go by. But do whatever you can to get some direct sunshine onto you and get some more air inside of you. Now, while you're outside, maybe you could take that time to go and observe nature. And you might be going, Rob, I live in a city. Nature's really hard to see. And it is if you're looking for lions, tigers, bears, cougars, deer, or anything else of that nature. But how about you sit there and just observe the bird life in and around your garden or your balcony or whatever it is you've got? How about you look for mini beasts like ants, or in my garden we've got lots of little lizards. Or how about you take the time to go and learn about the clouds up above you and what cloud formations bring about what weather patterns. So use the time to learn. How about going and watching some of your favorite YouTube channels and YouTube videos about the outdoors, whether you're into climbing, hiking, sailing, canoeing, kayaking, surfing, bushcraft, survival, fishing, hunting. There is stacks of YouTube videos you could go watch about the outdoors. And if you're into progressing your skill level, watching those will actually be a benefit for you. In fact, with a group of young athletes, young kayakers and canoeists I worked with the other year, in the UK in the middle of winter, it was too cold of an evening to take them outside for that long to go do stuff. So what we did is we got them watching their favorite YouTube video clips, and you just see them kind of kayaking as they watch and get into the video. So go spend some time doing that. And the last thing, and arguably the most risky thing, is to go to your local park that's within walking distance of your home. Now, this depends on many factors. It depends upon how many people you think you might bump into there, and are you really able to keep a 2 to 4 meter or 6 to 12 foot gap between those people? It also comes down to what the law of the land says. But if you are able to go out and walk to your local park, spend some time in your local park, having explored, having a walk around, if you're able to do that and stay 2 to 4 meters away from people for their safety as much as your own, then go and access and use that local park that you rarely use. Maybe this is a great excuse to walk your dog more if you can leave the 4 walls of your property. Whatever it is, spend some time every day outside. With this horrible illness and virus about us, it's all too easy just to lock ourselves inside and watch Netflix and then feel miserable and sad because we can't get outdoors. And I suppose the last thing, and I'll talk more about this in a future week's episode, is go get out there and use the internet and plan your next adventure. Where are you going to go to? What are you going to do? What resources? What's the directions? What do you need to go and organize to go and make it possible for yourself? And start looking forward to the end of this crappy time and to what can be one that's going to be amazing going forwards as we explore the outdoors more. So my name's Rob Yates. I'm a co-founder of We Get Outdoors. I've been coaching and guiding in the outdoors for the past 30 years and have trained over 4,000 coaches, leaders and guides across every continent apart from Antarctica. If this is useful to you, please go and hit subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and certainly share it on your Facebook newsfeed so that more people will benefit from advice like this. Stay awesome, stay amazing, and I look forward to speaking to you again very, very soon.